So I went and saw the other movie that came out this week, which was Sicario: Day of the Soldado, and I watched the first Sicario whenever it came out and thought it was fine. I didn't love it, but I feel like I wasn't in the right mindset when I saw the first Sicario. That I think watching the first one again, I might enjoy it more. But so going into that, I kind of didn't remember much of going into this movie. I didn't remember much about the first Sicario, and that wasn't a terrible thing. I should have rewatched it if I didn't have time. But even though I didn't remember much about the first one, I like that this movie is pretty standalone. Like it has some like a reference or two, I think, to the first one that I can recall that I remembered, but a lot of the stuff, if I didn't remember anything else, there's probably a couple more like references to it. But there were a couple moments where I'm like, okay, that reminds me of the first one. This feels like the first movie, and not in a way that it copied it, but like it just felt like it was connected in the same like continuity. And even though I don't remember a lot about the first one, I thought that this one is a great standalone movie, and honestly, this was really, really good, and it really captivated me through the whole movie. This movie was at least 2 hours long, and movies that are like this are not typically ones that I fully give my full attention to, like more real life gritty movies like this. And this one did a good job of being very intense and having very great characters. And the characters in this movie, I don't remember their names, but I remember the actors, Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin. They both return in this movie from the first one, and I guess they go on another. They go to the Mexican border again to go and steal one of the drug cartel's daughters, and will make it look like she gets taken by another cartel, so they will have a fight against both of them. And the way that they do that is really interesting and really like cool in this movie, because these characters feel so real, and I like the fact that you get a lot of time with them. You get a lot of time with Benicio del Toro, who is a wild card character. In the first movie, he was like that too, and the way that he works in this movie is interesting, and I feel like on a couple watches and rewatching the first one, I could understand it more, because I feel like if I did watch the first one again, I'll understand it a little more. I mean, but it is fine on its own, but I felt like this character is very much a wild card, and I thought he was interesting in the movie. And Benicio del Toro is just a good actor anyways, but he really was captivating. And it's kind of about on one side of this and Josh Brolin on another side, where they both are kind of separated during this, and they both like it's hard to explain it without spoiling it. It gets really intense with these moments between them and the cartel, and with them just trying to make it through to this mission to fulfill this. And I really like these characters. I thought they were interesting. I thought they were well written. I thought that they all had such, because of the actors involved, I felt like they gave a lot. Even though they didn't have to, because the writing is good, but the acting is great too. So that's a great bonus. It works great with both of those things, and like the scenes with Benicio del Toro and the girl, they're really good. And I like the fact that this girl character who is introduced in this movie, she changes from the beginning to the end, and she is stuck in the middle of these two situations between these two factions. And it's interesting in how she perceives being the daughter of a drug cartel, like the leader of the drug cartel. Like, that is really cool. And she actually, like, the actress is pretty good. This kid is really good, and she gives off a lot of emotions dealing with how she feels during the situation with these with where she's at, what's happening to her, why she's around all this happening. without ruining anything, like, that's really cool. Like, she just was really good, and her and Benicio del Toro are together for a while in this movie, and they together have good chemistry because of the relationship between Benicio del Toro and some other thing in the movie. And I really thought that these characters were really interesting, and they gave off, like, the actors, of course, are great, and their authenticity is great, but they all just really gave it their all, and I thought that they really were interesting. And it just really felt like it was just an interesting movie, and it's not one that I usually find that interesting, but I thought that these characters were so interestingly written and had such great... They're such great actors already, and they do different angles from, like, this type of movie, and I really enjoyed that. It just really gave off such an interesting way of doing this kind of movie. So I really enjoyed this, and I thought it was one of the best of the year so far for me. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's up there. And out of the 40 movies I've seen, I bet it's, like, right in my top 10, like, right now. Of the 40 movies I've seen so far this year, halfway through the year, and that'll change probably, but still, it's a really good movie. It really works, and it makes me want to watch the first one again, because the first one I felt like I wasn't in the right mindset watching it. Like, I wasn't thinking, like, in terms of being interested in that type of movie at the moment, whenever I saw it, I think. So, I need to give the other one a chance again. And I didn't mind it, I just didn't love it, like everybody said, but I really enjoyed this one, so... really, really great one, guys. I really enjoyed this one. So, thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.